Hello students, I hope you're doing well. In this video, I will be discussing from chapter 23 to chapter 25, and this is the last video on Things Fall Apart. I hope that you have enjoyed the series in total, and if you have, do let me know in the comments and let me know which other kinds of videos you would like to see me making, and I will surely make those. Give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed watching it and if you find it helpful, and also subscribe to my channel because I have lots more videos coming up on literature and research and academia in general. So yeah, I will see you some other time. Bye bye.
So what happens in this one? Now these chapters they're going to be very fast paced and they have a lot happening in them, obviously, and we need to understand that the people of Umofia now, for them it is going to be very like it's going to be a very decisive moment, because they have just demolished the church. That means that they have, declared their resistance against the colonizers. They have finally realized that, they want this occupation, this colonization to end, and they have taken a very decisive step about it as well. They have demolished the church, and they believe that they are going to now get rid of the colonizers. However, and this kind of behavior is obviously very appreciated by Akonko, because he has this violent disposition. He always believes in action, and he had been advocating action from the very beginning. ठीक है, तो अब वो action ले लिया गया है, तो what are going to be the consequences of that action? That's what we are going to see. For the first time in many years, Akonko had a feeling that was akin to happiness. The times which had altered so unaccountably during his exile seemed to be coming around again. The clan which had turned false on him appeared to be making amends. 3 days later, the district commissioner sent his sweet-tongued messenger to the leaders of Mofia, asking them to meet him in his headquarters. उसने अब क्या किया? उसने कहा इनको ज़रा मैसेज दो जाके. Sweet tongue means that he was obviously very respectful, very kind, the messenger. He came to the leaders. उसने कहा कि ये आपको बड़ी मौदमाना गुजारिश है कि आप आएँ ज़रा उसमें हेडक्वार्टर्स में आ जाएँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर के. ठीक है, so we are going to negotiate on things. ठीक है, we are going to talk about what has transpired so far in the village. Akonko warned the others to be fully armed. ठीक है, अब जाने से पहले Akonko ने क्या कहा कि जा रहे हैं हम, तो we should take our weapons with us, because you never know what's going to wait for you, what's waiting you out there. These people can do anything. तो फिर वो सब लोग अपने weapons लेके जा चुके थे, and this also shows that Akonko knows the potential that these people have. He's not very naive. और फिर वो जब जाते हैं वहाँ पे, तो what happens? They are invited there first of all to have a talk, have a dialogue. And another thing that you must notice, you must read that incident of demolishing the church. What happens there is that before demolishing the church, there is this dialogue between Mr. Smith, the missionary, and the people of Umofia, or the elders of Umofia. और क्या वो dialogue है, वो आपस में क्या बातचीत करते हैं, that's very significant. तो उसके बाद यहाँ पे भी they are expecting that they are going to have a dialogue with the district commissioner. ठीक है, but obviously the district commissioner has something else in mind, and he's not gonna allow these people to have a dialogue. ठीक है, he knows what he's going to do with them. तो आगे ये लोग और उसके बाद what these people do, what these messengers do is that they take their weapons away from them and they arrest them. ठीक है, they handcuff them. So they have basically handcuffed all the elders जो भी उनसे मुज़ाकरात करने गए थे, negotiate करने गए थे. So they have been handcuffed और उन्होंने कर लिया arrest. ठीक है, और डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर साहब उनको क्या कहते हैं? We shall not do you any harm, said the district commissioner to them later, if only you agree to cooperate with us. We have brought a peaceful administration to you and your people so that you may be happy. ठीक है, हमने कहा कि हमें पता है ना कि how to make you guys happy. It's our responsibility. It's white man's burden. ठीक है ना, हम आपको यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छी तरह जीने का तरीका सिखाने आए थे. And we are doing all this for your happiness, right? So we came here with the peaceful administration, right? और आप लोगों ने क्या किया? If any man ill treats you, we shall come to rescue. We shall come to your rescue. But we will not allow you to ill treat others. We have a court of law where we judge cases and administer justice just as it is done in my own country under a great tree. ठीक है? मैंने कहा बट हम आपको इजाज़त नहीं दे सकते कि आप इस तरह के काम करें उल्टे सीधे. ठीक है, आप प्रॉपर्टी डिस्ट्रॉय करें, आप ये करें, आप वो करें. What is happening now? That these people who gained this land inch by inch, who infiltrated this land inch by inch, very strategically, very systematically, right? Now they have reached such a point and their power has reached such a point that now they are telling the native people of that area, of that land, that they, the British, cannot allow these people to live in that land, to live on that land as they want to, live. मैंने हम आपको बताएंगे आपने कैसे करना है, हम आपको अलाउ करेंगे. Now this language is very very important. ठीक है, आप लोगों ने taken critical discourse analysis पढ़ा होगा, just apply all that. ठीक है, on the speeches, on the things that these people say. मैंने कहा कि अब we cannot allow you. We are here to save you from yourself and we are here to save everybody from you as well. हमें आपका ख्याल रखना क्योंकि हमें अल्लाह ने ड्यूटी दी है. I have brought you here because you joined others to molest. You joined together to molest others, to burn people's houses and their place of worship. That must not happen in the dominion of our queen, the most powerful ruler in the world. I have decided that you will pay a fine of 200 bags of cowries. You will be released as soon as you agree to this and undertake to collect that fine from your people. Now बात आ गई पैसों पे. अब क्या करना है आपने? अगर यहाँ जेल से निकलना है, जमानत करनी पड़ेगी. You will have to give a certain fine in order to achieve your freedom. So hasn't this come full cycle? Like these people, they were investing so much money. हॉस्पिटल बना रहे थे, स्कूल बना रहे थे, ये कर रहे थे, वो कर रहे थे. अब वापस अब टाइम आ गया वो पैसे निकलवाने का. ठीक है, तो अब क्योंकि रूल हो गया, अब तो पैसे ही पैसे निकलवाए जा सकते हैं, राइट? सो अब वापस अब पे बैक टाइम आ गया, राइट? सो दिस इज़ हाउ दीज पीपल आर गोइंग टू पे फॉर whatever progress has been achieved, whatever material progress has been achieved in their own land. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि यहाँ पैसे दोगे उसके बाद आप लोग यहाँ से जा सकते हो, अदरवाइज यहाँ से नहीं जा सकते. The head messenger, who was also the prisoner's barber, took down his razor and shaved all of the hair on the men's heads. They were still handcuffed and they just sat and moped. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने क्या किया? It was very humiliating. Obviously, they just raised their heads, and the six men ate nothing throughout the day and the next. They were not given any water to drink, and they could not go out to urinate or go into the bush when they were pressed. At night, the messengers came in to taunt them and to knock their shaven heads together. ठीक है, तो obviously they were being humiliated बहुत ज़्यादा. ठीक है, their heads were shaved, they were not given any food, they were not given any water, they were not allowed to use the loo and anything like that. ठीक है, तो complete humiliation. I asked you guys to read Machiavelli. ठीक है, मैकियावेली की जो किताब है द प्रिंस, उसमें भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात करता है. वो कहता है कि इफ़ यू वांट टू कॉन्कर अ नेशन, सबसे पहले जाके ना उनको जो रूलिंग क्लास है ना उसको एक तो डिसमिस करो, ठीक है. एंड व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज दैट यू नीड टू completely kill the ruling class, and in that way it will be very easy to control the rest of the masses. ठीक है, जो सबसे influential है उसको इतना ह्यूमिलिएट करो लोगों के सामने कि फिर बाकी जो आम लोग हैं वो तो वैसे डर जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो कोई आपको लगे ना कि anyone who has that ability, who has that potential to be influential, who has that potential to be a leader, उसको सबसे पहले मारो, उसको सब बहुत ह्यूमिलिएट करो ताकि लोगों के लिए भी इबरत का निशान बन जाए. राइट, सो दैट्स व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. इनको अच्छी तरह से ह्यूमिलिएट करो ताकि किसी को शक्ल दिखाने के काबिल ना रहे. We should have killed the white man if you had listened to me. Okonkwo snarled. Now Okonkwo is obviously, he has been saying this again and again and again, but nobody has listened to him. तो वो ये कह रहा है कि मैंने कहा था कि मार देते हैं. और वो जो मैसेंजर है उसको क्या कहते हैं? You're not satisfied with your crime, but you must kill the white man on top of it. He carried a strong stick and he hit each man a few blows on the head and back. ठीक है, तो हमने कहा ठहरो, तुम लोग कभी आराम नहीं आया. So this is how they are being humiliated. और फिर क्या हुआ? On the morning after the village crier's appeal, the men of Umofia met in the marketplace and decided to collect without delay 250 bags of cowries to appease the white men. And the villagers, obviously, who were back home, what they did was that they knew that the only way to save their kinsmen, the only way to save their clansmen, the only way to save their leaders was to collect the money. तो फिर उन्होंने हर किसी से पैसे जमा करना शुरू किए. ठीक है, and they collected cowries and कितने cowries उन्होंने जमा किए? 250 cowries. ठीक है, to please the white man. They did not know that 50 bags would go to the court messenger who had increased the fine for that purpose. उन्होंने क्या किया? court messengers ने क्या किया होता? अपना उन्होंने commission अलग से रखा होता. Right? So what was the actual fine? It was 200 cowries. But what was told to the villagers that it is 250 cowries. 50 cowries होती वो messengers के पास जाएगा. So are you getting my point? That how these messengers, they were, how they were corruption तो खैर गोरे भी कर रहे हैं. White men, they are obviously, this whole money is corrupt. Right? These people had no right to make the other people their prisoners. But ये जो साथ इनके messengers हैं, ये जो black लोग हैं, जो African लोग हैं, they are also corrupting. They are also using all this corruption, all this economic corruption in order to fill their pockets and to exploit other Africans. So they are collaborators. Now what happens is that in chapter 4, this is the chapter that's very, very sad, the saddest chapter of all. The last one is also very sad. Well, it's obviously the end and the saddest thing happens there, but I think this chapter is very sad because it was a bit hopeful, but nothing really happens. ठीक है, Azimna, let me just read it so that we can discuss it. Azimna had prepared some food for her father as soon as news spread that the 6 men would be released. She took it to him to his obi. He ate absent-mindedly. He had no appetite. He only ate to please her. His male relations and friends had gathered in his obi, and Oberika was urging him to eat. Nobody else spoke, but they noticed the long stripes of Okonkwo's back where the wardens had cut into his flesh. तो यहाँ पे obviously everyone is humiliated. देखिए, आपके अंदर कोई एक बहुत ही आपके सर्कल में एक कोई बहुत ही वेल रिस्पेक्टेड बंदा है, ठीक है, या बंदी है, कोई भी है, ठीक है, आपके बड़े हैं कोई भी, ठीक है, आपके अबू हैं, आपके कोई भी हैं जो आपके ख़ानदान में एक मकाम रखते हैं, ठीक है, उनका बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस है. तो उनको अगर कोई इस तरह से ह्यूमिलिएट करे, आपको ज़्यादा मतलब वो एक टेरराइजिंग सी बात होती है, isn't it? You would be even more terrorized. Okonkwo is not a common man, ठीक है, although उसका स्टेटस ख़त्म भी हो गया था, सब कुछ हो गया था, but still once he had a lot of repute to his name. He's a very well reputed man, और it is a very strategic move on the part of the colonizers to target these people of influence. these influential people. So क्या हो रहा है कि यहाँ पे everyone is basically terrorized and everyone knows how humiliating it is for a Congo to go through this, through this treatment and how he did not at all deserve it. ठीक है, तो अगर Congo को इस तरह से ट्रीट कर सकता है तो इसका मतलब है कि जो आम बंदा, ठीक है, जिसके पास एक नॉर्मल सी पावर है, जो इतना पावरफुल नहीं है, उसके साथ क्या होगा वो एक अलग कहानी है. Congo slept very little that night. The bitterness in his heart was now mixed with a kind of childlike excitement. Before he had gone to bed, he had brought down his war dress, which he had not touched since his return from exile. He had shaken out his smoked raffia skirt, and examined his tall feather headgear and his shield. They were all satisfactory, he had thought. So what he's doing is actually preparing for war. And I feel so sad for a Congo because, it's so sad to see a hero, humiliated like that. Look at him. He's so, his spirit, it is still not conquered. He has that spirit to fight. He has that spirit to resist. He is better than everyone, ठीक है, in his clan. कम से कम इसमें इतनी जरूरत तो है कि he's standing up, against these colonizer, and he knows that he wants to take revenge. लेकिन क्या होता है? A meeting takes place at the marketplace in order to decide the next course of action for the clan. ठीक है, अब क्या हो गया, सब जमा हो गए अगली सुबह और सब कह रहे हैं, कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं रेजिस्टेंस होनी चाहिए, हमें जंग करनी चाहिए लोगों के साथ, कुछ कह रहे हैं लोग नहीं करनी चाहिए. ठीक है, और and what happens, मतलब how is Congo reacting to this meeting? What are his views? आपको उसके views तो आपको यहाँ से ही पता चल जाते हैं that he is preparing for war and everything, right? He's preparing to fight, he's preparing for battle. लेकिन वहाँ पे opposing views क्या हैं, क्यों हैं, लोग क्यों डर रहे हैं, क्यों नहीं कर रहे, उनके भी उनका जो डर है वो भी justified. उनको पता है कि वो ज़रा सी भी resistance करेंगे तो the colonizers, they have such power that they can completely demolish the whole village, जैसे अबेम को किया. ठीक है, अबेम को ख़त्म कर सकते हैं तो ये मोफिया क्या चीज़ है. अगर वो उनके लीडर्स को ह्यूमिलिएट कर सकते हैं तो बाकी लोग क्या है. तो so now people are worried and they don't want to actually resist because they feel कि हमें भी मार दें या हमें भी हमें जेल में डाल दें. they are worried about it all, right? The arrival of the messenger. Up now they are actually discussing now they are actually discussing what they are going to do. और अचानक से क्या होता है कि there comes a messenger, and what does he do? He asks them to stop that gathering right now, stop that meeting right now. ठीक है, जैसे आपको पता है कि डिक्टेटरशिप में होता है ना, people are when there is a dictatorship, when there is this क्या उसे कहते हैं, मार्शल लॉ, तो उसमें ये होता है कि पीपल आर नॉट अलाउड टू होल्ड अ मीटिंग इस तरह से इकट्ठे होकर ना, क्योंकि वो उनको होता है आर्मी को होता है कि कोई वो कर रहे हैं कुछ, शायद कोई मतलब कुछ कॉन्स्पायर कर रहे हैं अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट, राइट? तो पीपल आर नॉट अलाउड टू डिस्कस एनीथिंग. तो ये डिस्कस करेंगे तो हो सकता है कि अपोज करें या रेजिस्ट करें. तो वो मैसेंजर्स उसी तरह से आ गए, वो उनसे कहते हैं कि हटो यहाँ से, ख़त्म करो. और पीपल हु आर होल्डिंग दिस डिस्कशन, हु आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस, दे नीड टू गो टू द कोर्ट एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. और what does the Congo do? He looks at that messenger and he looks at him very fiercely and he asks, he challenges him. ठीक है, और उसके बाद वो जो है वो उसको रोकने, मैसेंजर उसको कोई बात कहता है, and what does the Congo do is that he raises his machete and he chops the messenger down. ठीक है, उसको कत्ल कर देता है मैसेंजर को. And that was, I think, the most heroic thing that a Congo ever did. But what happens is that he thinks that the rest of his clansmen, they would actually support him, and they would, from this point on, they would actually join the war against these people. But what happens is that the villagers, the people who have gathered there, their reaction is so strange, and they are not actually talking about the messenger, but they are actually questioning Congo, कहते हैं क्यों मार दिया इसको, अब क्या होगा. And they are frightened, and they are afraid that something bad is going to happen. And at that time Congo realized that it's a gone cause, it's a lost cause, nothing is going to happen, and that is where the chapter ends. that is where the resistance ends, right? So this chapter, I think it's very, it's so sad, because it basically we get to see how defeated these people are and how they have been occupied. तो हमने शुरू कहाँ से किया था? When this warfare was free of colonizers, colonizers नहीं आए थे. We get to see this progress, ठीक है? This whole progress from being a very free society to a society that is invaded slowly and gradually, and then we have reached a point where there is a completely new establishment that has been created, and now the African people, they are under the rule of the British. Chapter 5 is interesting, and here we get to see the whole thing from the point of view of the outsider. अभी तक हम जो भी देख रहे थे वो तो या तो कॉन्को के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से था या insiders point of view. From that insiders point of view, and we get to see the British come, we get to see everybody come. But here we are going to see how the outsider, the colonizer, is going to look at this whole situation. तो क्या होता है कि when he finds out, the district commissioner, when he finds out that a messenger has been killed by a native, तो वो क्या करता है? He goes into the village and he goes to, he asks his messengers or his soldiers to arrest Akonko, and when he goes there तो उसको पता चलता है कि Akonko has actually hung himself, ठीक है? क्योंकि वो लोग कहते हैं ना कि अमेरिका कहता है कि I can't take you to Akonko, like we can't take you to Akonko because he's no more, right? Now when they go there, the commissioner, the district commissioner, he realizes that Akonko is he has hanged himself from a tree, and these people, they are not actually trying to, they don't attempt to take him down from that tree. And why doesn't he do that? Why don't they do that? Why doesn't America or anybody else do that? It's because it's against our, it's against their tradition, it's against their customs. यहाँ पे आप देखें कि पहले तो वो बड़ा मतलब वो आया होता है ना एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, उसमें आया होता है मूड में. यहाँ पे आके लिखा हुआ है द डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर चेंज्ड इंस्टेंटेनियसली. द रेजोल्यूट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर इन हिम गिव वे टू द स्टूडेंट ऑफ प्रिमिटिव कस्टम्स. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ओरिएंटलिज्म इतना ज़्यादा अप्लाई होता है कि वाई वॉज इट इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर हिम, फॉर दिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर to actually know about the customs and the culture of these people. Why does he think that it's so interesting to know more about it? ठीक है, तो उसको अमेरिका क्या बताता है? It is against our customs, said one of the men. It is an abomination for a man to take his own life. It is an offense against the earth, and a man who commits it will not be buried by his clansmen. His body is evil, and only strangers may touch it. That's why we ask your people to bring him down, because you are a stranger. Oberika, who had been gazing steadily at his friend's dangling body, turned suddenly to the district commissioner and said ferociously, "The man was one of the greatest men in Mafia. You drove him to kill himself, and now he will be buried like a dog." तो एक बात जो इम्पोर्टेंट है, एक बात जो यहाँ पे इम्पोर्टेंट है वो ये है कि हाउ कॉन्को हैज़ ऑल्सो he has been disgraced, he has committed suicide, which is considered to be a very abominable action, right? और यहाँ पे आप ये देखिए कि एक तो ये है, and America is obviously sad. Another thing is how this district commissioner is looking at this whole situation. For him, it's a very interesting thing. ठीक है, उसके लिए एक बहुत मज़े की चीज़ है कि भाई अच्छा एक बंदे ने कत्ल कर दिया, अब इस बंदे के साथ क्या होगा, what are their customs, why is he so interested in these customs? It's because he wants to capitalize his experiences. वो जाएगा, वो लिखेगा एक किताब, ठीक है ना. For him, it's very important to make make this observation and write it down as well, so that later on he may he may create scholarship on it. And once that scholarship is created, other people will also read it, and after reading all that, they will be able to kind of make more progress about this whole colonial enterprise. Kya hota hai, the commissioner went away, taking 3 or 4 of the soldiers with him. In the many years which he had toiled to bring civilization to different parts of Africa, he had learned a number of things. One of them was that district commissioner must never attend to such undignified details as cutting a hand man from the tree. Such attention would give the natives a poor opinion of him. In the book which he planned to write, he would stress that point. As he walked back to the court, he thought about the book. Every day brought him some new material. ठीक है, हर दिन उसके लिए एक new inspiration लेके आता था. ठीक है, the story of this man who had killed a messenger and hanged himself would make interesting reading. One could almost write a whole chapter on him. Perhaps not a whole chapter, but a reasonable paragraph at any rate. There was so much else to include. One must be firm in cutting out details. He had already chosen the title of the book, and after much thought, the pacification of the primitive tribes of the lower Niger. Basically, ये जो title है, it's also very significant. Everything that I have highlighted here is very significant and demands analysis. Read the book yourself. Try to analyze it. We will be holding a live session, inshallah, on Monday. I'm recording it beforehand. So after we have done with it, I want to address a few points, especially this part where this author, this commissioner, is acting like an author or a student of primitive cultures and things like that. Orientalist discourses के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें Orientalist discourse की जो है वो उसमें एक रंग आ रहा है कि how he wants to create this Orientalist discourse and how it will be used for the colonial enterprise in the future times. So that is it. I hope that you have learned something from these whole lectures. I hope that these lectures have made you think about different things, and they've made you analyze different things. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the live session that we are going to have. And yeah, if you want to add anything, you can do that too. So other than that, good luck and goodbye.